Have you ever looked up at the towering skeleton of a dinosaur in a museum and wondered, what if that were me? What if, overnight, the entire human race transformed? Either shrinking to the scale of the smallest dinosaurs or growing beyond imagination, matching the titans that once ruled Earth. Would we become gods or doomed giants? Could such a change alter the world forever? Would it signal evolution or extinction? Let's rewind Earth's clock and begin at the bottom of the ancient food chain, the Microraptor. No taller than a Subway sandwich, weighing less than a liter of soda, this creature flitted through the forests of what is now China over 120 million years ago. It was the size of a house cat, but far more elegant. With 4 feathered limbs and a gliding style similar to flying squirrels, it danced through tree branches, chasing insects and escaping predators. Though it couldn't fly in the traditional sense, its aerial acrobatics were dazzling. Now imagine every single human on the planet becoming that small, shrinking to just 30 centimeters tall, roughly 1/5 of our current height. You wouldn't be able to open a door, flip a light switch, or use your smartphone. The homes we built would become prisons of steel and concrete. Window ledges would become impassable cliffs. Carpets would feel like shaggy forests. Stairs would become a mountain range. And if by some miracle you made it outside, your nightmare would only be beginning. Pigeons would now be your aerial overlords, capable of snatching you midair. Rats would hunt you in alleys like lions on the savannah. A common cockroach could chase you down and overpower you. All the insects you once squashed beneath your shoe, they'd now be capable of squashing you. You'd be stranded at the very bottom of the food chain, vulnerable, slow, and shockingly edible. Now, suppose we retained Microraptor wings. We could glide, yes, soar over sidewalks and drop from balconies like leaves in the wind, but the human body, even shrunk, isn't built for flight. Our dense bones and rigid muscles would betray us. Each landing would feel like crashing, our ankles would shatter, our spines would compress. Our tiny utopia in the skies would quickly become a painful lesson in physics. Still, there would be some advantages. We'd consume fewer resources. With smaller bodies, our caloric needs would drop. Or so you'd think. According to Kleiber's law, smaller organisms have higher metabolic rates per unit of body mass. You'd still need about 35% of your current daily calorie intake just to survive, meaning you'd be perpetually nibbling, snacking, just to stay alive. Meals would become missions, and despite your tiny size, your hunger would still feel full size. Let's reverse direction. Instead of becoming smaller, what if humans got bigger? Much bigger. Let's start with the Utah raptor, an apex predator standing about 6 feet tall, similar to many adult humans today. Unlike its cousin, the velociraptor, which was barely the size of a turkey, the Utah raptor was the real terror of its time. If all humans adopted this size, the world wouldn't change much at first glance. But the subtle shifts would be interesting. Men could finally stop lying about being 6 feet tall on dating apps. There would be no more awkward 5'11 inches but rounded up profiles. Everyone would be at least 1.8 meters tall. Tallness, once a biological advantage in attracting mates and avoiding certain diseases, would become standard. But let's go even bigger. The Triceratops, an herbivore with horns like battle spears, stood over 2.8 meters tall. If we matched its size, our bones would groan under the added weight. The average human would be supporting an additional 130 kilograms just from the scale up. Your legs and spine would protest with every step. Walking would be exhausting. Sitting would be a relief. You'd smack your head on door frames constantly, and furniture would be laughably small. You'd need custom everything: beds, chairs, cars, clothes. Society would have to re-engineer itself around your new dimensions. Even more problematic? Your heart. At nearly 3 meters tall, your heart would struggle to pump blood to your extremities. You'd experience circulation issues, chronic fatigue, and possible organ failure if your body didn't adapt quickly enough. Nature would start weeding out the weak quickly. Still think you want to be taller? Let's go all the way to the king of the dinosaurs, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. 12 feet tall, monstrous, and majestic. A predator of legend. But if we became that size, it wouldn't turn us into beasts of power. It would turn us into beasts of burden. At that height, our brains would need to be much larger just to keep up with the increased size of our bodies. But brains scale poorly. Neural signals would take longer to travel. Our reaction times would slow dramatically, perhaps twice as slow as now. In a world where speed means survival, that lag could cost your life. And your body would hurt all the time. You'd need mechanical support just to walk, leg braces, exoskeletons, constant physiotherapy. And that's if your bones didn't collapse beneath you. Every movement would require tremendous energy, like running a marathon just to get out of bed. The only upside? A deeper, thunderous voice. Your vocal cords would stretch, resonating with a richness never before heard from human lungs. You'd sound like a mythic god, assuming you could stand up to speak. But even the T-Rex isn't the largest dinosaur, not by a long shot. Now meet Sauroposeidon, the tallest dinosaur we've ever discovered. Standing at a staggering 18 meters, about 60 feet. It towered above the world, its neck alone longer than a city bus. If we matched its scale, we wouldn't just change our world, we'd destroy it. Each of us would weigh over 80,000 kilograms. That's the weight of a commercial airplane. Skyscrapers would shatter beneath us. Homes would collapse. Bridges would buckle. Roads would split. We'd be living earthquakes. Cities would fall. Civilization, as we know it, would cease. Our hearts wouldn't be able to keep blood flowing upward. The pressure would be too great. Brain failure would be immediate. Our bones would splinter. Our muscles would tear. Even the strongest among us, the elite athletes, the bodybuilders, would be crushed by their own weight. The laws of biology, of physics, of evolution, they've crafted us to be exactly as we are for a reason. We are not built for such scale. We were never meant to grow so large or shrink so small. Our current size, this average, flawed, beautifully balanced scale, is what lets us thrive. It's why we can build, love, think, and dream. So the next time you feel small standing next to someone taller, or insignificant in the vastness of the world, remember this. Your size is perfect. You're already tuned to the rhythm of Earth's gravity, built to move through the world with purpose and potential. You're already a miracle of evolutionary engineering. And as for Chase, well, maybe he shouldn't have stood so close to the largest creature in the history of life on Earth, but don't worry about him. He'll respawn in time for another adventure. Maybe one that involves burgers. Or the moon. But that's a story for another episode. If you enjoyed this journey through time, biology, and the extremes of human imagination, make sure to hit that like button, share it with a curious friend, and subscribe to Deep Space Digest for more thought-provoking, mind-bending explorations of science and beyond. We'll see you in the next one.